soldiers are come, left and right. Ooh, yeah. Ah, boy. And them say, here comes trouble, here comes the danger. Sent by the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. I and I start recruit soldiers for Selassie army. Hey. Here comes trouble, here comes the danger. Welcome the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. You know for ask is who, at the general issue in a warning. Job people them a ball, said them tired of mediocre. Evil a go fall when we tried in Ethiopia. Believing from down, cause them life no easy boat. Even Bantan said it's not an easy road. Operation occupy the motherland, calling all soldiers to kind each other along. From creation, will come. Why? Chronics, left and right. The soldiers are come, left and right. Ooh, yeah. Ah, boy. And them say, here comes trouble, here comes the danger. Sent by the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. I and I start recruit soldiers for Selassie army. Hey. Here comes trouble, here comes the danger. Welcome the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. You know for ask is who, at the general issue in a warning. Job people them a ball, said them tired of mediocre. Evil a go fall when we tried in Ethiopia. Believing from down, cause them life no easy boat. Even Bantan said it's not an easy road. Operation occupy the motherland, calling all soldiers to kind each other along. From creation, he writing a job plan, but Chronics can't do it alone. So I'm recruiting soldiers coming from near and far, I choose executing. Selassie I works and be Rastafari true. And them say, here comes trouble, here comes the danger. Sent by the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. I'm gonna start recruit soldiers for Selassie army. Hey. Here comes trouble, here comes the danger. Welcome the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. You know for ask is who, at the general issue in a warning board. Waving the banner red, green and gold. It is such a honor prophecies unfold. Discovered on stones, on trees and scroll. And even in the stories that Jesus told. Oh, Rasta youth must inherit the earth. Can't sit down, Jaja send me fi work. Bring the fire in a room, Jaja send me fi purge. But I can't do it alone. Rasta recruiting soldiers.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope everybody is feeling all right. I have had a stressful day, so I'm so sorry first and foremost for being late. I absolutely am ashamed of myself because I'm trying to be on time for this, but yeah, y'all are more on it. This is how it's gonna happen. So I was stuck in traffic in Dakar, and I just you know what, I just felt like, as much as I want to be on time for you guys, I was like, I'm not on anybody's watch, you know, I'm not on anybody's clock. And that's the beauty of what I'm doing right now. I mean, you join in, if you don't, you don't. You know, I'm not tied down to any contract. So I apologize for being late, but you know, I was trying to spend some more time with my amazing son and my beautiful family, and as a result, I'm late. So assalamu alaikum, kaifa ko hamne yangi setan program bitay. Man lasen harid sen sob e my practice nak. As you can see, the Wolof is getting better. Man lasen harid sen sope chat drame madam Jallo with the chat. And yeah, today is just gonna be a show that you know, we're gonna talk about something that is really awkward talking about in Gambia, which is cyber, the cyberness, the internet, the people, and how we use it. It is a serious problem because I don't think we use it responsibly. I've seen people complain about cyberbullying and all of that, which I'll get to. But the topic today is about thinking before you actually tap click or you subscribe to anything, or you update anything on your profile, all actions lead to some form of identity, you know. So if you're, I'm gonna come back to the basics. I am one of those people that believe that not everything needs to be on social media. I'm also one of those people that also believe in it. We don't always have to be just, not just, but we don't always have to be so correct in our ways when we're on social media. You know, sometimes it's good to show the real person that you are. Sometimes it's not advisable because most of the time it's one of those things that you know, people take for granted. You know, you're exposing yourself, you're putting yourself out there, especially when it's within our community, which is the Gambian community. Currently, we have had for the past 3 years, because internet, all this Facebook Live and all of that is, and I'm not just talking about Facebook when I say social media as well. I'm talking about Twitter. I'm talking about LinkedIn. I'm talking about Snapchat, right? When it comes to social media, I feel like Gambians still need time to understand the power that they have. It can be resourceful, but it can also be damaging. It can, like, it's like life. There's always black or white. There's always good and bad. So the internet is one of those things as well. We as a community now, or joining the rest of the world, are definitely depending on the internet for everything. You know, we're depending on things that pop up on our screen when we want to go shopping and things like that. We're depending on even the voiced commands that we do. You know, you're putting yourself out there from when you put your name down, from when you fill a form and you tell somebody your age, you tell them your interests, you tell them what you're into, and you also sometimes expose a part of you that you actually think that, okay, say for instance, that you think that people won't actually see eventually. The minute you create a profile, your data has been taken. This is why data is so expensive now. Data is the new currency. You know, people are investing in data. They want to know that data. They want to gather that data. So all the data that we put on social media, be it good or bad, be it something that you think is so mediocre, something that's not so important, you're putting it out there. And the protection you have of your information, unless you're trying to be a celebrity, but even the celebrities, like, at the end of the day, they don't want this kind of exposure. Your information is everywhere. So you have people that actually stock up on this stuff. And this is how I see the internet. I feel like it's a tool for any marketing. Because marketing is the thing now. Every single account on Facebook, on Twitter, is different. Not because you chose it to be different. It's different because the way marketing ads and things pop up on your screen and the people you follow determines how much shit these people throw at you. And this is the corporate world. So if your interests are in food's gonna pop up. And it's gonna be popped up on your screen in a way by you have to click on it. So that moment where you click, usually that's just an affirmative that this is your interest. So it's they'll lure in things, they'll send in different types of messages as you go along. But the message at the end usually it requires you to make a purchase of some sort. So that's why sometimes when you say something to each other, this is why there's a saying that the radios and the TVs and devices are listening. That's absolutely true. Because sometimes they know data and automatically it comes up on your Facebook. and you know for certain that nothing but you and somebody else were there in that room. That's not coincidence. There are devices that are on our servers. There are devices on our computers, on anything that we have. So our data is out there. We're fully exposed, and this is where I get a bit agitated by Gambian social media. Recently, there's been a lot of, for the past 10 years, a lot of videos going up, you know, in terms of nudity and sex. There's also a lot of videos of recently there was a suicide video, right? I won't say who, but we all know what I'm talking about. We also have videos of men showing their body parts and things like that. You know, even when it comes to ditch, you have someone ko hamne mungi de, but the picture that they have of the person that died, sometimes, let's be honest, nobody wants to see a memory of somebody that's passed away to koko mungine konse club, or mungine ko and the party to live her best life or his best life. Well, a picture of person koko no mungine ko in maybe mungi sol bikini next to beach view. Just things like that, like really awkward situations. So those photos or those videos go viral. Gambian Bilumade and Nahalisen, if they don't analyze the situation before they start sharing. And the first thing that really, every single time I hear about a nude video or something that's just gonna bring someone down, two things I think about is, if the person has kids, how are you going to explain this to their children? Because whatever you put on, they will naturally elect the fam. Our community is that small. You can't run from problems or situations in Gambia. But then you also have the problem of once the person receives this file, once you receive a file of someone, let's say in a very maybe we get attached in or something, I think to myself, who was the first person to actually click share? Who was the first person that said, you know what, ooh, leave video attached in la, or leave video bohamne, li munaya hanliki. Yeah, let's make fun of this. Let's make it go viral. Gambians are the first people in your hamne, they will share. I won't even say Gambians, but cyber people on cyber, but my people are the first to share everything. Something can happen yesterday, and by Suba, because people just click share. Hey, do sangam, you go def. Hey, semago. You never, the chain never stops. The chain will always continue. So eventually, you know, it's just becomes cyberbullying, and the person gets victimized, and the person gets isolated. You feel some kind of way, and then you're thinking to yourself, how, as a woman, because I'm not saying as a woman or a man, okay, as a human being, bring somebody down. Yaha spiritam, yaha kareem, yaha ligayam, all of that. How can you be comfortable to sleep at night thinking that you're the person that shares this shit? There's nothing wrong with lolu ngai ko to sa telephone, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. Because the things that people don't know is that every single person on social media, the minute you type in your name, that's it. They have your data. So imagine if you were supposed to be applying for a job. We've all been through this. If you apply for a job somewhere in Europe or America or whatever, I'm not sure about Gambia, but Senegal said they do it now. is they find you. This is why on the application form they sometimes ask you for your social media account names. So if you're smart enough, you won't give them what you've been up to, if your life is a bit ratchet or whatever. But sufekene, you're one of those people that lives it up on social media, but your lifestyle isn't the best of the lifestyles. I'm not judging anyone. I'm not shitting anyone at the moment. And that person that's supposed to be recruiting you for the job goes through your profile. Sometimes they pre-assess people just based on their social network profile. So therefore, it does slim your chances of moving forwards. This is why I keep on saying not everything deserves to be on social media. And not everything deserves to be clicked upon. You know, there are situations whereby a person is on social media and that person is out there, completely out there. Maybe let's say it's a woman, or actually let's say a man, and he's wearing something, maybe a pair of boxers, or he's by the beach or whatever. You post that picture on social media. The minute you post on social media, you're not stopping anybody from sharing or screenshotting that photograph and using it for their use, like advertisements or whatnot. So social media is something that people are, like the 1% world, the people, I'm not talking about the people in Gambia, I'm not talking about those people, I'm talking about the people in general that control this stuff, use to program us. Right now, the thing that's trending is I saw this a couple of weeks ago with all these TikTok videos. There's a challenge, I can't remember the challenge name, but I'm sure some people are familiar with it. It's a challenge where a man dresses up like a woman. You're wrapped in a towel, you have you have one towel on, and then you have a towel on your head. And then apparently you swoosh, it's like the makeup challenge, you swoosh and the man is dressed up as a woman. And he has to twerk. That is the current challenge. So it's not every challenge that is meant for us. The agenda of this new world that we're supposed to be living in, their agenda is to emasculate the black man. Take away his power. Take away his masculinity. So if you're trying to say that you want to portray the best of your country, this is going to the pictures that I've seen on social media. If you're trying to tell us that you want to show the best of your country, show the best of your country. Don't take a picture of a child or a couple of kids that are looking hungry and thirsty and tired, and then you hashtag Gambia, hashtag children, hashtag poverty, hashtag we need change. You see, every single hashtag that we use, those hashtags mean something else in another country. I don't want to see pictures of kids suffering from Gambia. And that seems to be the thing now. All these celebrities are coming down to Europe or stuff like that, coming down to Africa. And then you see them give the kids a little token, maybe a coin or a piece of bread. And you see the child smile because mungiti maybe benamburu or mungiti an apple or amga. Those are the pictures that they're trying to send to us on social media. This is why I'm saying social media can be a curse, because it's not really telling the real stories. The real stories about Gambia that we want to see aren't really represented unless you have to dig further. If you click on Negi from Negi and it's sort of on Google search, Gambia, first thing that will pop up is Yaya Jame, a hungry looking child, and women carrying baskets. You know, it just gives us the feeling that we are a village, but the way they push it is that Gambia is a country of suffering. Yo, Gambia is that country, boy, hamne, on social media. Like, it's disgusting. Like, people still live in trees. Those are the pictures that they put on social media. So as a photographer, and if you're listening to this or you know a photographer, it's time to take beautiful pictures. I mean, I'm amazed by Uncle Abdul Wage from Nekani. He's been posting pictures of Banjul and how it's been developed and how beautiful it's become. You know, how they've renovated, how they fixed the roads and things like that. But I don't want to see a picture of someone trying to show a beggar on Carambar Avenue. We're better than that. And the people that sell the pictures are Gambians. Nothing's more embarrassing than when a Gambian sees a video of a Benin Gambian and koko maybe mu ngi nekk ci position boo xam ne rafetut ngeen jël di share. Think about it. You have to think, is it the truth? Like, because gossip flies around. You have to think, is it honest? Is it real? You have to think. You have to think before you click these buttons and expect that, you know what, this is all right to share. Nobody seems to be sending any like viral messages of things that are positive about us. Everything is just negative. Even people, this is why we will not, people are coming to this country and discovering Gambia as it's some new tropical island or something like that. You know, but Gambia's existed for many decades, and there are beautiful things about this country that we need to show. And we need to be careful because soon kilifa now, soon papa, soon yaya, soon auntie, soon uncle, excuse me, they all have social network, you know, accounts. Most of them are on Facebook. So the way we even write, they want to know, like, by swing hell. You know, filter your words. It's time to be respectable to each other. I'm not saying I'm different. I'm just saying sometimes we just need to realize that, oh, maybe my uncle kid nagi Somali, or maybe my auntie be nagi Somali. Nobody's telling you don't live your life, but the fact that you can't keep it respectable, like people nila hole, monologue show lolo on Facebook or any other social media, and you want to go to public and say Assalamu alaikum to Khalifa Bobo no feka gis na ni on social media. It's a bit of a cliche. So going back to how much information we put on Facebook. We put everything on Facebook. Nit ñi amatuñ sutura. maa ngi gis ñu ngee def muur si Facebook loo xam ne ñun daanuñ ko gis. maa ngi gis ñu ngee def what's that thing ay njuli si Facebook. maa ngi gis liir bu tooy xepp boobu moom yàgg na fu mu nekk nii si Facebook and all other platforms. There are people that have subscriptions on Snapchat. Accounts are wide open. And they think they're living their best lives. You're giving yourself a bad name. Because as a woman, we need to be considered, I shouldn't be just women. I need to stop talking about women. As a man or a woman, you need to know that how we comport ourselves, what we write, nothing gets deleted. It's just stored. So the new era of social media and technology that we have fed so much into is keeping us away from our families. It's like we were prepped for coronavirus. But like coronavirus, I feel like we were prepped to depend on nothing but the internet. For deliveries, for ordering, for food, it's just like somebody's just trying to say, you know what, yen toglen fi. and you're going to be highly dependent on social network and internet. That people are making millions from just internet. Billions and trillions of dollars and pounds or whatever is going into internet. The average Gambian, I don't want to say a network, but the average Gambian is spending like maybe maximum $50 here or $100 here on internet every day. You times that by 30, you times Luluwad by 60. How many people, how much money are these GSM operators making? And they're getting it from somewhere else. And those people are also getting it from somewhere else. They're milking us dry just based on social networking that we do. They don't want to see anything beautiful. Anything beautiful never really gets that many views. But anything that's dirty gets views. And even on, this is how they've managed to trick us into, like, you're going to get money rewards if you have X amount of subscribers and followers. Let me tell you, mine personally, for Chit Chat with Chad, I would love to make it into a platform or a TV show or whatever. But I want it to happen organically. People buy subscriptions. People buy followers. Or subscribers, sorry. People buy followers. You can invest in that. But I would rather my audience be made organic. Because then I realize, I feel like that is the time that I know that I've made an impact on somebody's life and people are listening. I would really hate for me to spend money to appear like people are admiring my work. I know that those 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers that I bought with my money are just robots. That's what they are. They're bots. Facebook, if you buy subscriptions, trust me, you're going to get followed by Mexicans and Chinese and people from Uganda and wherever that don't even speak, don't even understand what's going on. And those are people that are following you. So if you have a social network platform, the best thing you can do is let it grow organically. Because it doesn't matter if you get 1 like on your video, 2 likes on your video. Eventually those numbers will add up. To me, that's what's important. You don't follow hype on social media. Being rich on social media is like being rich on what? I've heard this meme so many times. It's a freaking Monopoly board. If you're trending, how are you trending? Whatever you're trending, I beg you, let it be something that's positive for the generations to come. Because children echo anything they see their parents do. If your son sees you in a particular way, that's the exact same way he's going to act in public. If your daughter, the same thing. So we are so connected on social media, and to a point where the people that follow us have a bigger impact or know us more than the people that we live with. Do you understand what I'm saying right there? There are people that actually are well known on social media for being a certain way, maybe yangi am halis or yangi tia back you see yangi def me sugar. I'm just showing you an example. That person that people see on social media isn't the same person that they know from their homes. And that's a sad fact. Some of us don't even know ourselves. Like you develop a lie on social media. You develop this facade on social media. But when you go home, go talk your kena, go away talk sa sago. This person is fake. This isn't me. But just to please the crowd and be the power of trying to boca is what's killing Facebook and social media. Everybody wants to be a member of the crowd in some way or the other. Like, everybody wants relevance. I don't understand why it is so important to put everything that happens in your life on social media. right? From your marital issues, from the food you eat. Subhanallah. Linga leka. So fekene sa nawle mun ko afford, mun say tek botam. You know the repercussion of that shit? And these are the things that people do without shame. I'm not judging anyone. I'm not trying to piss on anyone. I'm not trying to be Miss Perfect. I'm just saying that just maybe sutura binga wara am sisa life. If you did less on social networks, maybe people would know your business like that. It's funny how we are all so comfortable with trying to connect with like people that we've never met before. I'm talking about people that just randomly inbox people. Don't invade my privacy like that. Don't send me a message and then you're telling me, oh, you know, okay, I understand if it's a message from a good place, like, oh, I really like your show, blah 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 blah. But there's some people, before I'm not even gonna say it, like the slide in the DMs, people that are trying to connect with you and they don't even know you, but they know you because you're putting your shit out there on social network. You've put everything out there, your age, your body size, your shape, everything. The places you go to, the food you eat. So obviously, you're out. But at what point is it okay for someone to just send you a random message complimenting you on maybe your bum? I'm curves. Or, I mean, I've even heard stories about people that like chase jëkkëri jàmbur yi via social network wala ngoro yoo xam ne ñu ngi xew si private message yi te ñun xamuñ si dara. Dangaa toog rek gis nit koo xam ne ay diw sëy na ak diw and they've never met. Fan lañ tase? Social network. Are we listening to ourselves? Like, are we actually, do we actually realize what we're doing? You know? And the next thing that I keep saying this, the way we have been set up for COVID is to rely on computers and technology. Yes, this is the future, but there is also a form of dialogue that you can literally like meet people. Oh, like this. I mean, fine, we're on quarantine or whatever, but there's a way that we can meet people. You know when you when I say meet people, you're networking with them. There's a purpose for them to be in your space, in the people that are necessarily supposedly supposed to be in your life. So why are we so open to allow so much exposure of things that should remain private? So, you know, I'll chat more. No, chat dinner because you're putting your whole bloody life on social network. People wonder why people know so much about them. It's because the way you put it out there. And then when you wanna call them out on it, they said, "Hi, kid for Inyan. Inyan, I'm just a bit slightly smarter than you. You know, all your lights may be on, but there's nobody taking any calls mentally for you." And I'm not saying you're stupid for doing that. I'm just saying that you could be a bit more cautious. On the real. I heard about someone committing suicide and the video has gone viral, WhatsApp to WhatsApp. I have seen a man that was playing with his penis to pleasure his wife, and that video has gone viral. There are people that target people like this. There are people that will pay money for, like, seriously, for videos like that. And again, what I think about is elega sibir luñ la netale ak ñu la xolé ak ñaarel bi, who was the first person that got that footage and said, you know what, it's gonna go viral because I'm gonna call Senki ki oluna ko ha ma senko ki, and that's how it continues. Gambia, we need to wake up. Yalla men and your technology, yes. Yalla men and your internet. Let's use it in the right way. Let's start talking about positive things about our country. Let's start sharing positive. Controversy sells. We already know that. So we can spice up our lives by adding a few captions here and a few hashtags here. But all those hashtags, it's not just going to stay within the circumference of Gambia. It goes World Wide Web. So let's just be careful. Let us just be careful. You can't be sending the wrong message about your country to other places. News will happen. You can use legit news. You need to check if things that you're sharing digala. And voice notes about saga. That's the one that gets me the most. And people are like, "Mangi am part 1 be 7. Mangi am part 1 be li. Yenga ki dafa saga gorom. Yenga ki dafa saga mo njëkkee mi la. Yenga ki like ñun dañ doylu ci problème. Gambia dañ doylu ci problème. And we don't need a place for him. It should be a place of education, learning more, etc., etc., to turn into a freaking joke. I'm gonna level about it. I can sit here and talk about this all day. But my message today is, before you do anything on social network, think before you share it. Think before you share it. You need to know if it's truthful, if it's helpful, if it's important, if it's necessary, if it's kind. Then share it. I'll say it again. If it's truthful, if it's helpful, if it's important, if it's necessary, if it's kind, then share. Because most of the information, if they don't tick those boxes, then there's something wrong with the source or the information that you're about to share. We live in a world where people will take our stuff, confused and self-centered. You could call it that. If you have any messages, please send them in. I've seen a couple of messages come through, but yeah. Ñun as Gambians, we mean I'm going social network. We don't even know how to social network, right? We don't even know the impact of a simple tag. I've been tagging people on social network for the past 1 month or 6 weeks. Like tag. But I know for certain that if I'm supposed to tag someone, I need to look at if this is the interest of someone. So we need to stop just tagging. You know, I know someone and I love him to bits. Dr. Tag, I love you to bits. And the king of tagging is King Simon as well. But please stop tagging me. Stop tagging me. I will see the picture in your profile. You know, things like that. We need to be a more open, you know, a more open platform. We need to be more positive. Gambia from Nekani, all you hear is politics on social network. Huloye Hehi social network. Very small percentage, I guess, you celebrate something that's important. Things that go viral don't necessarily need to go viral. If you're so talking, I just don't know how to them viral, you're gonna stop. for more them. Nobody's gonna force the phone to send it. Don't be a distributor of bullshit. Don't be a distributor of gossip. Don't be a distributor of lo hamne fenla against somebody. Because when you die, besum pencham dinga explain lolu. You know, and I want to see more positive. But are we positive? Do we even have a culture of that? People tend to say, oh, we're the smiling coast, we're from the smiling coast, blah, 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 blah. But are we really as positive as we think? Are we? It's time to come back, like mentally, then you want to come back and realize that not always is it necessary to be relevant. George, I see you. You know, not always is it necessary for you to know what's happening. You can, there are thousands of people that log on, read stuff, take screenshots, and just distribute that shit. You know, that's all they're there for. And you never see them like anything positive, though you never see them comment anything positive, but sufficient is to just distribute garbage. That person's always present. And those are the people that had you good is and the community that we live in is so small. Unlike other countries, Gambian B has, I've noticed near Gambian B, no matter what you throw at them, they bounce back. But psychologically, speaking of psychologically, I've seen people post pictures of kids with Down syndrome and mental, I know, just people, kids, people with certain physical features. Maybe you have a jaw that's dropped, maybe butan bit of a fatu or something like that. That becomes a meme, and then that becomes something they laugh about. That's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting, and it's awful. It's an awful thing to do. Gambians will body shame another person because of their weight and turn it into a joke. Gambians will see something lo hamne physical disability la. You look, or it's not just Gambians, but I'm just talking to my people here. That's why I'm just saying Gambians. Lo hamne yalla daf dogal la ko def si yow, natu la si yow, people are laughing about. Even if you sit down and digest so much as what I just said, nga wara talk nga ne nga ree koku blatantly su fekkee ne xamuloo ko sax on social network. Maam yàlla moo dee binda ñëpp te ñëpp du dee mut. Yàlla moo dee binda lépp te ñëpp duñ dee mut. Su la xañut lii du la jox yëpp. So at the end of the day, ñun ñoo war a xam what we laugh at, what we cyber discriminates against. Half su fekkoon ne dañ waroon a diagnose people with mental illnesses jóge ko Gambia, ñu bari am nañ bipolar or schizophrenia or something, or even anxiety and depression. It's easy to be on the other side of the fence and talk rubbish, but su fekkoon ne yow la, yow xoole ko sa boppa. Su fekkee ne you are being, at Gambia we have doctors for that now. People are on medication for anxiety, stress, and depression, and all of that. But as a community, do we support them? Instead, dañoo ne xay kii dafa dof lu suñ kaw. Dangaa gis koo xam ne dafa xaru, ne dafa jël bakkenam. Am na kenn, I think a couple of years ago, ku could jump on. It was a love story of some sort. She jumped from a Haumanyata foot building in America down to Balalem was faking the Mathen. I think it was America. It wasn't Gambia that. That fucking video went viral. Excuse my language. It went viral, and the story they told behind that story is an absolute bloody shame. You don't know what she was going through. You don't know what kind of medication she was on. People, gawa them off, out. It's so easy to lose your mind, Sotuke. It's so easy because you're away from home. You're going through so many things. Peer pressure, this constant competition on social network. Everybody has to be a certain way, look a certain way, talk a certain way. And if you can't afford it, you can't get it. It puts you into a position where you're depressed sometimes. You lose your mind. But instead of supporting you, of trying to find some way, they can offer like a shoulder to bloody cry on is the worst thing to find. Gambia, we don't support each other. We just bring each other down. Yalla bu nit wax ne la diw sanga dafa nan febar pour anxiety. Hay garab dof. Lolu yifi tubab, lolu yifi ñep la. There's no such thing as skin color when it comes to mental disabilities and all of that. Sometimes you see people write 24/7 on social media, the like, the tag, the lead. Because amut nyuma watanal, and that is her avenue, that is her route of getting things off her chest, and that is her route of just being herself. But at what point do we not realize that, okay, maybe key different psychological problem? Give them a bloody call. Call it, call. Large call. Sis, I see you posting a lot. Are you okay? You see people that cry on social network by just reading the post that they put down. You see someone called Hamnet is going through a lot of trauma, and you've been there. I mean, from when someone posts something about a funeral on social media, and your lazy ass, all you can write is R.I.P. R.I.P. You're too lazy to. If I ever die and somebody wants to write a post about me and how I was living, and you want to sympathize with my family, and all you have to write is R.I.P., don't. Because it means you're even too lazy to bloody write rest in peace. Why so fair corner nama? And gossip was supposed to go around. You would write a bloody paragraph about me. And that's the community that we live in. That is the community we live in. Nobody knows what anybody else's life has got going on. But don't use social network as a weapon or something to get back at them. Man, from there, I'm sure somebody's recording everything I'm saying to go and distribute me saying nonsense or whatever I'm saying right now. But you know what? I don't give a shit. Because then maslaha benga hamne ñun suñ own people ñoñu nekk di stigmatize. Tubabi defuñu ko, nari defuñu ko. Nobody's doing it to us but ourselves. So at what point do we stop and say, you know what? I'm gonna try and do better. Not for anything, but you say you didn't start a thread. If you don't start a thread, then don't share it. Don't be a channel for distribution. Because then you're just as bloody guilty as the person that started the video. And you guys can share this in. So, before I wrap up, because I'm about to wrap up, I've got things to do than sit here. I just want you to think before you share or subscribe or tap on anything or follow or want to know more about something that you've seen on either Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever, social network, lalawa. Think. Is the content true? Is the content you share going to help anybody? Is the content going to be important to anybody? Is it necessary for you to even share it? And is it kind? Think will just stand for that. I'm going to share the link on my page, and hopefully it will inspire other people, because now globally Google has started this campaign, and it's important that we go and read it. It's exactly what I just said. People need to be more aware of the problems that we have from social media and on social media. So Google is actually coming up with a campaign because they know that we're spending so much time on social network. So they've made it point of duty that people know what they are doing and be more cautious and not be so bloody misguided when they go on social network. So I'm going to wrap up for today. I've had so many messages come through. I can't even read every single one, but I feel like I said before, if you want a trend, make it organic. Don't subscribe to anything that you don't understand. Don't share anything that you think you're not comfortable with. Nobody needs to know what you're having for breakfast, lunch, and bloody dinner. And it's a wrap. That was the Chit Chat show for tonight, and I will be back on Wednesday. I should be having Royal Messenger, and we are starting to feel picking up a few more positive vibes. And we have something to talk about. I'm going to keep that secret though for now. But if you want to know what's going to happen this week, I've got a show on vaginal rejuvenation. I'm going to get backlash for saying that. Vaginal rejuvenation will be coming up this week. Women have started to rejuvenate their down theirs. Mainly not because of anything that is to pleasure them. Apparently they're fixing their down theirs for their men. So I feel like we need to discuss that. We need to really discuss that. Sex should not be a one-sided enjoyment. So anyways, I'll be back on Wednesday with the Royal Messenger. I hope you like the show, and I have to bounce, but please remember to share. I've got Safe Media, by the way. Please remember to share, subscribe, and follow on our social networks provided within the link. And I didn't own any rights to the music that I played today. So take care. Have an amazing 2 days, and I'll see you on Wednesday.